Howdy y'all, I am Ice Gold, and when I was sitting on the toilet earlier today, I was thinking, what could I make a video about for Sunday the 12th? Because Pirate101 still has not dropped free membership, so the Nuzlocke series is kind of in limbo until that happens. Anyway, today we're going to be discussing what the hell these new cards are. Because a lot of people have been confused, and it's... Some of them read like the Rosetta Stone, I'm not gonna lie to you. It's... I'm looking at them on my screen right now, and I've decided to sort of explain the fire teasers just because they're what I have up on my screen. So this is Dark Fiend, or the new Dark Fiend that is coming in the update, and yeah, as you can see, this is it certainly reads this is supposed to do 75 shadow damage, so I guess like a little tower shield break if you're brave enough to spend a shadow pip on that. And then what it'll do is it'll put down 3 70% damage over time traps. That, of course, being damage over time specific. When I think of that, I think of Nap the Scarab, which puts down 3 fire-specific dot traps. And I think this is the only card in the game with those attached, if I'm not mistaken. Cyclops, maybe. No. Cyclops is Cyclops used to be that, but it's not anymore. So, yeah, Nap the Scarab basically has the same mechanic where this just sort of puts down dot traps. But the main point of today's video is to discuss what the hell that little icon down there in the bottom left means. That means the Shadow Pact. This is a new icon. It basically just means anytime you see this, what it means is if you see it with that's the icon of a Jinx or any trap or trap adjacent, that kind of thing, that's called a Jinx. So if the Shadow Pact here is, it needs to consume a Jinx, or from better or worse, a trap, on yourself. So that's not something that you can necessarily put down. That is something that the mob or your opponent in PvP, for example, would have to put down. And so that is basically how this card functions. And the important thing with this is actually going to be our new fusion. This is how we're going to get the shadow spells once the update drops. So things like Raging Bull and Fire from Above, of course, these are both going to take this new Dark Fiend card. That's going to be your enchant. And I imagine you can also use regular enchants after that's done. I have not actually tested that with any fusion spells yet. I really should do that, just to be 100% sure. But basically, the Dark Fiend, Dark, whatever, just pretty much all of the dark. If it says dark to start off the card, that is going to be your new quote-unquote enchant. That's going to be your fusion. That's going to be how you infuse your cards with shadow magic. So going forward, the Dark Fiend, it's at all, I guess, is going to be your enchant. So just to get that one cleared up, because I know it has been confusing, because there's also, I mean, they still have the shadow forms. So things like Shadow Fiend, that's the other one for fire, and for this one, it is it's going to be 25% outgoing damage and 25% outgoing pierce, which honestly is kind of cracked if I'm, well, never mind, it costs a shadow pip, but it also gives you a fire pip, which is pretty neat. And the Shadow Pact here is going to be, basically the Shadow Pact takes traps on the target. So this is kind of an interesting one, and as you can see, just another thing to quickly clear up, the icon in the bottom right of the card art for Shadow Fiend, as you can see, that is the polymorph, but for the Dark Fiend, it's the new Shadow Pact icon. So that's basically what that means, below like the PvP or advanced content level 95 restriction. That's what that means. So yeah, just to clear up. So the Shadow Fiend, Shadow Blank is going to be your new Shadow transformation spell. That's going to be what Shrike was. Still is, I think Myth keeps Shrike, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, so this is going to be that. And the thing is, I've seen cards that have been teased. I bet I can find one just off the bat right now. Someone was saying Raging Bull. Okay, so Raging Bull in the teasers that my boy Bobcat posted yesterday, he posted these, and when I saw these, I was like, wait a minute. it's like the Shadow Pact here is literally eating the bomb dot. What? Huh? This can really just tell you just how little the devs have thought some of this through. Okay. Explanation time is over. Now I get to rag on the devs again, because that's what I do on this channel. Anyway, so Raging Bull, the Shadow Pact. Okay, this is rich, dude. Because if you use the card, the Shadow version, of course, it will do its damage, pretty solid, and then it'll put down 3 bomb dots that do 975 damage. So, I mean, they're 6-rounders and they're bomb dots, so they're garbage. But the main the thing with this is you use the card, and then the Shadow Pact eats the dots. Dude, I'm looking from monitor to monitor. I'm looking back at my main screen, and I'm looking at my monitor up with the teaser up, and I'm like, okay, what is going on here? And I think the Myth ones also had something like that. I think Tatzelworm Terror eats its own traps, which is odd. Where is Tatzelworm Terror? I don't know. I could find it, but it's like if... like Tatzelworm Terror, I think, is the one that puts down traps and then has the Shadow Pact as traps on the target. So it's like, make it make sense. I really just think that KI needs to think some of these through a little more, just because it's like, if you have a card that is putting down an effect and then immediately having the Shadow Pact eat those effects, because that is what's going to happen. It's like, the Shadow Pact here is, and this is something I really should have mentioned at the beginning of the video, the Shadow Pact, if you don't fulfill it, it'll take out 5% of your max HP for every round that you don't fulfill it. So, yeah, Raging Bull has no problems with that, because it gambits away all of them for some ungodly reason. But if we are thinking about, I'll put Dark Fiend back on screen, so for this, you know, it's only really good to use Dark Fiend if you already have traps on yourself. That's how I see it. Because it's like, if you use it and you don't have traps on yourself, then you're going to be taking 5% HP. So if I have 11,000 HP, that's going to be 550 every round for 3 rounds, for a total of 1,650 damage. So that is pretty much just how these new upcoming Shadow cards work. Some of them I really do think need to be looked at again, but I'm gonna have like a whole video talking about all of the teasers. Once all of them are out, I'm gonna look over all of them. That is going to be tomorrow, so definitely stick around. But for now, that is going to wrap this one up. I hope I was able to help clear this up for y'all, because I know it is a very confusing new mechanic, but if you think about it, and if you like know what Shadow Pacts do, which all of you do now, awesome. But yeah, once you know, it's much easier to figure out and just sort of understand what you want to do. So with that being said, thank y'all for watching. I've been Ice Gold. Be sure to like, subscribe, and leave like 50 comments for the algorithm. My Discord is down in the description. If you want to chat with me some more, let me go put away my Clockwork Courser, and I will see y'all later.